Hey there, class. We have quickly arrived at our 7th and final directive. Please turn to page 13 and take a look at Directive 7. A public speaker must fully celebrate every opportunity to speak. Public speaking opportunities are opportunities to invest time sharpening your number one skill set, and they're also opportunities to be seen and to be heard. Opportunities to invest time sharpening your number one skill set. A successful public speaker fully celebrates every opportunity to speak as a way to accumulate hours of experience and practice developing their number one skill set for life, public speaking. Years ago, I read a book called The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. It quickly became near the top of the most influential books in my life. The book is a historical, in-depth, objective study of success. I'm not one of those people that reads the book of the week, but I heard Malcolm Gladwell interviewed and I thought, wow, I want more of this. So I ran out and grabbed the book, and it would quickly not only greatly influence how I do everything, but my wife as well. It was a true blessing to read that book. That was years ago now. But something that really stood out to me are a couple of things that apply directly to public speaking. Gladwell argued in his book, if you want to be good at something, you have to do it. If you want to be better at it, you do it more. If you want to be really good at it, if not great, you do it a whole bunch. If you want to be better than everybody else, you do it more than everybody else. In Gladwell's book, he came up with a number, 10,000. 10,000 hours. That is the number of hours everybody that Gladwell had researched. That is the amount of time, 10,000 hours, that each person he had researched representing great success in society, whether it's medicine, sports, the arts, whatever it is, all the individuals had something in common. That was time invested. 10,000 hours doing what society has declared them great at before they ever got paid or anyone ever acknowledged their greatness. Two examples that I really love from the book are, one, the Beatles, the most successful rock group of all time, and two, Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. The Beatles, years ago when John Lennon was still alive, he was interviewed and he was asked, why are the Beatles so successful? John Lennon said, easy, the 2 years we spent in Germany. Well, the journalist said, well, can you explain? And John Lennon said, yeah. For 2 years, we played for free in Germany, up to 7 days a week, up to 10 hours a day. We played for free, for tips and free alcohol, and we got to meet a lot of girls. The reporter said, well, that sounds great, but how did that make you great? John Lennon replied, it was impossible not to become great. We were on stage every day working with our tools. I learned that if I did this with my voice, nothing happened. If I did that, girls cried. If I did this with a guitar, nothing happened. If I did that, audience went nuts. If I moved my body this way, nothing happened. If I moved my body that way, girls fainted. We spent hours on stage working with our tools. Then we came home, and the rest is history. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. Him and the other boys in his neighborhood, co-founders of Microsoft, how cool is that, living in Washington, learned that up the street at the university near the neighborhood where they lived, there was a computer lab on campus. It was open 24/7 and had no security. Bill Gates said when he found that out, him and his friends from the age of 15 until 21 every night would climb out of their windows at midnight. Their parents thought they were sleeping. They'd meet in the street and they would go to the computer lab and they would play on the computers all night. Bill Gates said, once I realized about the age of 21, if you put a keyboard in front of me, there was nothing I couldn't make a computer do. But Bill Gates And the Beatles also had something else that was very important to acknowledge: opportunity. Had the Beatles not had the opportunity of Germany, there'd probably be no Beatles. Had Bill Gates not had the opportunity of a free computer lab, there'd probably be no Microsoft. But also, you've got to acknowledge that they had to have the wisdom to seize the opportunity. Had the Beatles said, no, we're not going to play for free, what are you, crazy? There'd probably be no Beatles, but they took advantage of that stage to work on their tools. Had Bill Gates been sleeping in, partying, getting into trouble, doing anything other than playing with those computers, probably be no Microsoft. But Bill Gates had the wisdom to take advantage of that opportunity. How does that apply to public speaking? You have to seize every opportunity that comes your way, not only as an opportunity to work on your number one skill set for life, but also to be seen and to be heard. Years ago, I was at Sizzler in Palmdale out in the Antelope Valley, and I've got family out there because that's where I met my lovely wife. And I was in a Sizzler, and a young Latino girl walked up to me and she said, "Professor Smith, do you recognize me?" And no, I'm sorry, I don't. She said, "Well, I wasn't on your speech team or anything, but I was in one of your public speaking classes at Antelope Valley College." And I said, "Cool, it's nice to see you. How are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing very well." And she went on to explain, when I was in your class, I was also a teller at Bank of America. And the manager got us together and said, "We are going to a conference, a Bank of America conference, and I need one of you, one of the employees, to stand up at the conference and do a 1 to 3 minute presentation about Bank of America Palmdale." And she said her manager looked nervous and he said, "I don't want to do it. Usually an employee does it." And nobody was volunteering. And I'm thinking, I like my boss. I'm taking speech class. I'll do it. And I said, "Cool." And she said, "Yeah, I'm no longer a teller for Bank of America." I said, "Really? What do you do?" She smiled and said, "I'm a speaker for Bank of America, and I make a lot more than the tellers do." Think about what happened. This young Latino girl, a teller at Bank of America, said, "I'll do the speech." So she's up on stage in front of a big audience, so talking about Palmdale, Bank of America. Someone in the audience saw her and thought, we've got something much more important for that young woman. And now she is a speaker for Bank of America. And to quote her, "I travel all over the world and I make a lot more money than the tellers do." You want to seize every opportunity to speak, not only as an opportunity to sharpen your number one skill set and get better at it, but as an opportunity to be seen and to be heard. And I'll leave you with a quote from Malcolm Gladwell, the author of that book I told you about. "Outliers are those who have been given opportunities and who have had the strength and presence of mind to seize them." I encourage you to seize all opportunities in life. And again, finally, the yellow bubble, and always own the burden of your success.